can we understand where we are with emotions? So the first step is really basically looking at your history, at all of our histories. I, for example, came from a very impoverished emotional climate. No one talked about feelings. There were lots of feelings going on under the surface, lots of energy around things, but no one ever talked about feelings. And so I grew up not talking about feelings, not even knowing how to talk about feelings, not even knowing it was what some people did. And of course, I became a psychologist. So our histories tell us a lot about where we're coming from. Okay, and some people have done a lot of work on that, as I have. But it doesn't matter. I mean, just to look back first, where did you come from, with emotions? What was the climate, the emotional climate in your childhood when you were growing up? What were the issues that you remember about that, whether it was, like in my case, impoverished, or whether it was very explosive and dramatic, which is often the case as well, whether it was lots of secrets going on in the family, so you knew lots of things were going on, but no one knew what was happening, or people kind of glossed over it. Oh, it's no big deal, it's no big deal. So that's the first thing we could do that would be helpful, is to look, where did you come from in terms of your emotions? So it'll give you some empathy and compassion for yourself, to understand that you maybe didn't learn how to deal with your emotions, or to identify emotions, or that emotions were even important. In some families, emotions were not important. For example, in my family, they were important at some level, but no one ever talked about emotions. Let's put it that way. So that's the first step, really, is to identify where you come from. Give yourself some credit for, having realized that, and whether you're ready to move on or not in terms of learning more. That, of course, is a question you need to answer for yourself. And also to have some compassion for your parents. Most parents are doing the best they can. And they, of course, didn't have any training in emotions either. This is a really new phenomenon, to have the luxury, really, of having emotions rather than having to be in intense survival mode, which for many generations, every people in the U.S. and in the rest of the world have been in survival mode. How can I do better? How can I survive? How can I support my family? That kind of thing. And they haven't really had the leisure and interest in emotions. So the times have changed and are changing. So that's the first step, to really just give yourself credit, appreciate where you're coming from, where the culture has come from, and then we'll move on from there next time. Okay.